Hello friends, welcome to today's Python programming and data science class, and in this class we will start our second unit, functions and exceptions. In the second unit we are having two parts. The first part is functions and the second part is exceptions. Let us see what are the topics available in the part 1, that is functions. So here we are having defining a function, calling a function, returning multiple values from a function. Functions are first class objects, formal and actual arguments, positional arguments and recursive functions. So these are the topics that will come under functions. First, let us see the definition of functions. Function is a block of reusable code. A block of reusable code which are used to perform an action. Okay. So a program is there. Here a set of codes will be used repeatedly in a program, and this is called the block of coding. Okay, so here we have to give name for this block, and this is called as function. Right, here functions provide a high degree of code reusability. That means this particular block of code will be repeatedly used in the program. That is, we can define this particular block into separate function, and this function may be called in the program n number of times. And there are basically two types of function. First one is built-in functions, and it is otherwise called as system function. And second one is user-defined function. That is, user themselves can define their own functions. Okay. So the example for built-in function is print, input, and so many other ready-made functions are there that we can directly utilize in our application. So these are called as built-in functions. So user defined function, so based on the requirement, user can define their own function. So this is called as user defined function, right? Syntax for a function. Syntax of function. Okay, so here all the function will start the keyword def, def. Okay, def is nothing but definition. So followed by function name, and within the parenthesis parameter list will be there. Okay, and followed by colon. After that, all the statements of this function will be started only after a tab from the first line, right? And the block statements will be there, and finally we are having return keyword. Return is a keyword. Here we are having definition, function name, followed by parameter list, and end by colon. So this colon represent the following block of statements which will be belongs to this function. And final keyword is return. Okay, the return is used to return some values to main program, and if there is no return means the function will not return anything, right? So this is the syntax for a function. And now let us see some more expansion about these functions, right? So all the function will start from the keyword def, and def followed by the function name. Function name is important, and after the function name we are having a list of arguments enclosed with the parenthesis, right? Okay, here the input parameters, which is otherwise called as arguments, that should be placed within these parentheses. Okay, so within this parenthesis we are having list of parameters or arguments. Here a block of statements of a function that will start by the colon. Okay, and the statement return is a keyword, followed by expression, followed by within square bracket expressions are there that exist a function and passing values to the main program, right? And the return statement with no argument is known as return none. That is, the particular function will not return anything to the main program. Okay, so these are the important terms for a function syntax. And now let us see one example for this function. Okay, so this is the very simple example. Here I am having a calculator, simple calculator function. By using this function I am going to add two numbers. Add two numbers. Okay, this function is used to add two numbers. Now I am going to define a function. So the function will be start with def keyword. The name of this function is calculator, and it is having two arguments. The two arguments will be enclosed with this parenthesis. Okay, n1 and n2 are two variables, and those are here called as parameters. Okay, and this function is ended by this colon. That means the following set of blocks will be there for this function. Okay, now let us see what are the statements are there in this function. First, I am having another variable, that is n3. n3 is equal to n1 plus n2. n1 is here, the first parameter, and n2 is the second parameter. And these two values will be added, and that result will be stored in the new variable n3. Now I am going to print this n3, okay, by using the print statement. Sum equal to n3. Okay, what is the value of n3 here? The sum of n1 and n2. And now I am going to return. Okay, now let us come to the main program. In the main program, we are having two variables. n1 is the value 30 and n2 is the value 25. Now I am going to call this calci function, calci of n1 comma n2. Okay, and the program is, that's all, very simple one. So we have created two variables n1 and n2. So with these two variables I am going to call this function calci, okay, with these two variables. Now the control will goes here, okay. Definition, calci of n1 comma n2. n3 is a new variable here. In the n3, n1 plus n2 will be added, and that will be stored here, and the n3 value will be printed here. Okay, and now let us see the output. So this is the output. Output is shown in the console panel. Okay, so the sum is 55. Okay, so 30 plus 25 is equal to 55. Sum is 55. And in the variable explorer, we are having two variables in the main program, n1 and n2. n1 value is 30 and n2 value is 25. Right? Do you understand this? Very simple program, this one. Up to this we have seen the function, definition of function, syntax of function, and we have seen a very simple example for this function. And in the next class we will see some more detailed example for this function. Okay, thank you.